Hey everyone, it's Cinema Lovers Incorporated back at you again with another video. If I look skinnier to you, it's because I have been on a massive diet, so, yeah. It appears to me that I haven't been making a lot of videos on the channel. I've just been focusing more on Spoonful for You, my main channel. I really wanted to update that channel a lot because it's my favorite channel that I create. So I love it. I love making videos on that channel. How many times do I say channel in the video? Comment down below. But ladies and gentlemen, today I am reviewing The Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 12, because tonight is Episode 14, which is probably going to be a very, very big episode. It's going to dive into Michonne's backstory. We're going to get to see why she has the X right here. And I hope to God that it's going to be a good episode. Episode 12 is really good, in my opinion. I think it was good, but it also had some issues. And it's the same issues that I have with all of the second half of Season 9, and it has to do with the secondary characters. But we're gonna get into that in just a second. Oh my God, I keep stuttering. Episode 12, again, is focusing on the Whisperers, and they are just the standout of the episode. These Whisperers are so intriguing to watch. They're so interesting to watch, and you really care about them. You really want to know more about these people, these crazy people. Alpha cut somebody's head off. Yeah, she cuts somebody's head off in this episode and then gives it to her boyfriend. And then he dies by her too with a knife. It's insane. And we really get to see how these Whisperers, you know, how they think about Alpha, how, you know, not a lot of them really like her, but I think they're scared to do anything because she's so crazy and they want to step up and overthrow her. I just don't think they feel like they can because of Beta, and I feel like if they left, Beta would hunt them down and kill them. So, what are you gonna do? But yes, ladies and gentlemen, this stuff is awesome. Henry is trying to get Lydia back because in the last episode, Alpha took Lydia, and it's like a big wild goose chase, and Henry takes down one of the Whisperers, and then you see Beta, the introduction of Beta, this huge guy. He's tall, he has a really cool voice, and he just knocks Henry to the floor, man. No. Kind of like that, and it was really cool to see. Beta is this really tall guy. I think the actor in real life is over 6 feet tall, so they got a pretty tall actor to play Beta in the show, and he is very menacing. He is probably the standout of this episode. And Henry gets taken to the Whisperer camp. We get to see the Whisperer camp, what they're like, what they do there. And Alpha is just so crazy, the way she talks to her daughter, Lydia. I really love the interactions between these two characters. It's very animalistic. Alpha just shows no passion, nothing. And in one scene, you're kind of led to think that she is sort of good, but then it just turns around and you know that she's not good. She's evil, and she is sadistic. She only wants to lead these people. She believes in control, and she doesn't want anybody else to overthrow her. Beta is her right-hand man. These two make a deadly combination. So then Henry gets tied up, and Lydia, like I said, I love the story between these two characters. Now, Henry is annoying sometimes, but as a young man, I think their story is pretty interesting to watch. I like their story. It's entertaining and fun. And Daryl and Connie, I really like these two characters together, not as a relationship couple, but as friends. Connie, at first, I didn't like Connie when she was introduced. I thought she was very, very annoying. Well, not very annoying, but she was just very dull, and she was blind, and yeah. But we get to know more about Connie, her tracking skills, how tough she was in the group, what part she played in the group that she was in, and we really get to know more about her. And I start really liking Connie in this episode. She's fun. She's her banter back and forth between Daryl is lots of fun. You have Dog having some classic scenes in this episode where he accidentally breaks the arrow. I heard that this was not supposed to be in the episode when the dog breaks the arrow, but he broke it anyway. You know, it's a good thing he didn't break something else. What? A bone. Perverts. But nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, Daryl goes with Connie and Dog to get Henry back, and Daryl and Connie, they lead this group of walkers to the camp, and the walkers just annihilate the Whisperers. It's a really cool scene, and Daryl is wearing a walker mask, and he grabs Henry, and they get out of there, and Henry takes Lydia too, and I think this is going to bite the group in the butt later on in this season because of Henry's actions. Pike scene! But earlier I said that the secondary characters are boring and that it's probably the worst part of the second half of season 9. Alright, let's get into it. So, what do I mean by secondary characters? What I mean is the Alexandria storyline, the Hilltop storyline, and the Kingdom storyline when the Whisperers are not the focus. Okay, when the Whisperers were at Hilltop, that was freaking awesome. But when they're not the focus, it's just boring and dull. I feel like these characters, they just don't know. They want to do something with them. Angela Kane really, you can tell, really wants to focus on the Whisperers. But then she has these other characters, and she doesn't want to make the fans mad, so she just shoehorns these other characters in the background. And it just doesn't work, in my opinion. They really have some boring storylines. In this episode, my God, it's boring. So, in this episode, ladies and gentlemen, Rosita is pregnant. So they're trying to help Rosita, and you have Eugene talking to Gabriel about how to take care of Rosita, and then Rosita is trying to get Siddiq and Gabriel to be friends and help this baby out. It just felt rushed, and it felt out of place, and it just didn't feel right. I don't see Gabriel as Rosita's lover. It just doesn't feel right. Now, Siddiq could be a different story, but really, Gabriel? Oh, God, I'm so sorry. I mean, it just doesn't really work very well, ladies and gentlemen, at all. And, you know, Gabriel and Rosita, it is probably the worst part of this episode, hands down. Michonne, too, she's angry Michonne, you know, her complaining and stuff. It was interesting, but it gets really annoying very fast when we have more interesting stuff going on, interesting things going on, like, the Whisperer stuff. That stuff is awesome. I really want to see stuff like that, but then you have this stuff in the background that just doesn't work. You have, characters talking, and they're doing things. They're setting up this fair. We know what's gonna happen. We know that there has to be development, but it's just not interesting. I would care more if they had interesting things to do, but it feels out of place, and it feels like a side thing, like a side mission that they just shoehorned in there to make the fans happy, you know, to see the characters. But the real stuff in season 9, the second half, the real stuff that really keeps season 9 afloat, the second half, is the stuff with the Whisperers. All of this stuff, hands down, is fantastic. The secondary stuff, like I said, was bad. It was okay. It just wasn't good. But the other stuff is pretty good. With the Whisperers, all of that is great. I really like Alpha. She's a very cool villain because she was never a good guy. She was always this sadistic character, and I think that's a really fresh change because normally villains used to be good and then they become bad, and it's a good fresh change because she's always bad, so I really liked it. So what am I going to give this episode? I am going to give this episode an A. I think this episode was fantastic with the Whisperers, the side stuff, the secondary stuff at Alexandria, Hilltop, Kingdom, all throwawayable, all pointless in my opinion. You know, they're trying to set up a fair. It's not pointless, it's just not strong enough to carry season 9, the second half of season 9. But the Whisperer stuff, hands down, is fantastic. I'm going to give this episode an A. What do you think of The Walking Dead season 9 episode 12? Yeah, it's episode 12. Let me know down below. Comment down below. Subscribe. Do whatever the heck you want to do. And goodbye. Bye, everyone.